Good morning, TikTok. Out in the wilds on my morning constitutional. Don't tell anybody. Check that sunflower. It was there for a second. Lens flares. How are y'all? There it is. There it is. There we go. Make a bitch look all Byzantine and shit. I wonder if there was a Byzantine version of Megan Thee Stallions. Ah. Can you imagine? I'm born in the purple hoe. To those of you who know, you know. So, uh, yesterday we were talking my prison narrative, and I left you all not on a cliffhanger, but like at what I thought was a decent stopping point. The point at which I got arrested initially because I'll say his fucking name again, Paul Hance, narked on me to the cops. But he didn't actually narc on me. He narked on my tragic boyfriend, Chris, Charles. I'm calling him Charles, aren't we? Yeah. His name's not Chris. I don't think it is. And uh, y'all got me there. Y'all did not. But you probably will because, I'm not good at that shit. So, Paul tells on me and tells on Charles, and the police come in 17 deep with their machine guns. And, the house was a fucking mess. Not like a full on meth mess, but just like a mess. And there were like 2 Q-tips on the floor because, Charles and I would sometimes use Q-tips to, that's so, to clean the mess pipes. And so there were meth, like soot covered uh, Q-tips, a couple of them on the floor. And one of those asshole deputies was like, "Look at this shit, man. Look at this. How you live like this? You got fucking Q-tips on the floor and shit. You need to get your fucking life together, bruh. Get your fucking life together, big cake." Oh, talking like that gave him hemorrhoids. So, uh, I really don't, though. I don't want to wish hemorrhoids on anybody except you, Chiquita. Good luck. So, um, after I got bonded out, and I'll tell you one little detail though that you know, not sure if it's germane to the conversation or whatnot, but maybe is worth sharing. Uh, when I got out, I had like 3 days where I had to essentially help my mother, and I shit you not, my grandmother clean up my house that I was staying in and like clean it out, get like as much of my stuff out of it as I could because, we were unsure if I was going to be able to ever go back there. I mean, we were pretty sure I was never going to be able to go back there to like live. And I definitely wasn't going to be able to afford it. I mean, it was like a $500,000 house. So, like, not that I was paying rent, like I told y'all before, I was just giving the dude who owned the drugs. So, uh, well, the 2 things I want to tell you about that are one, I don't know if you've ever experienced the feeling of coming off of like a really hard speed like drug that you've been doing constantly for years. I mean, I'd been doing it every 20 minutes at that point for like 30 years. And I'm not joking, like every 20 fucking minutes, my dumb ass is in front of a mirror, like, this is gonna be the last time, I promise. Let's do it 5 more times. And so my mother, the often misunderstood saint that she can be, enlisted the help of her mother, my grandmother, hey, me mom, to come down and help clean out my house a little bit. And I had one of those big ass like chests, the kind that, if you were Rose on the Titanic, you'd have some porter carrying for you like 2 or 3 of them because 'cause they're that big. They're like 5 foot long and 2 feet wide and like 3 feet tall. And guess, bitch, guess what was in that fucking thing? Guess. You'll never fucking guess. Like the world's most ginormous sex toys. Like butt plugs so big they could be like their own person. I mean, like stupid. It's so stupid, but hey, that's what that meth do to you. And I mean, some of them were like they were like $500. It was so expensive. Liberation. So my mother and my grandmother obviously cannot lift this chest. And because, I was coming off of the speed, I was like dead. I mean, I sat in my like armchair and fell asleep while they were cleaning up my house because I had nothing left. I was going through full on anhedonia and I'd been through 3 of the like worst days of my life. And I was doing it without the thing that had been like keeping me going up till then. And uh, I also was an asshole. So, fair point. Uh, but my mother and my grandmother dragged that tub full of sex toys out to the curb and put it on the curb where a bunch of homeless people stole them. One man's trash is another man's dildo. So the other thing is that the next day when I was staying at my mom's, and my mom had she has a really nice house. She has a really nice house now too. She had a not as nice, but differently nice house then. And I was there sleeping on her sofa, and like I said, I had anhedonia, but like I wanted something to replace the lack of speed. But like what? Because like I was determined at this point. I was like, I'm not ever gonna do it again. Never. It's over. Ah. Never start drunk again. I'll be a good boy. And so I cajoled my mother into taking me to Walgreens or Walmart, maybe. I think it was Walgreens though. And it was like the end of March, the beginning of April. So it was still like Easter season. And I had this woman buy me 10, and I'm not fucking kidding you, 10 boxes of little Debbie Cosmic Brownies, the Easter bird, like the Easter versions when they have like yellow icing on them. And I sat on that sofa. Oh my God. And just ate those fucking it's like a kid with chocolate all over my face. That ravenous. Not satisfied. I ate all 10 boxes in like 2 hours and then had like oh God, does it do stuff to your bowels? Like my bowels were already fucked up anyway, but I mean, like, damn. It should be like, damn. So those are the 2 things I wanted to share with you about that. Moving forward in the story, after those few days were up and I managed to get the money to bond uh, my then tragic boyfriend out of jail. We start planning. Like, well, what are we gonna do? Because he's fucking homeless. Like when I met him, the dude was living on the street, like sleeping under a bush and like hooking up with people so he could have a place to stay. And I mean, I'm not trying to, call out that lifestyle or what, but like, I mean, he was not in a good place. Of course, someone offers you all the meth you can smoke and like looks halfway decent. I guess you say yes, right? Say yes to the meth. And so he stayed with me and like uh my chosen family uh like gave me my job back that the owner had fired me from, but he was a good dude back then. Gave me the job back and let me stay in his house and then let uh tragic boyfriend Charles stay there with me. And we stayed there for like 3 or 4 months while we slowly built up enough reserves doing exactly what the fuck you think. With exactly the same fucking person as before. To come up with the funds to be able to like rent a place. Except he like flexed and decided that he was gonna be in charge. He was gonna manipulate. got me to rent us a place in New Orleans and just outside the French Quarter in the Marigny. And so he like stayed there the last few months before we fled, and uh, basically just got high all the time, slept, and like fucked around with everybody he wanted to. Like I said, he's a real piece of shit. And not that I was, uh, celibate or monogamous. I've never been either of those things really. And uh, but I was open about it, you know. He wasn't, and I don't know. It is what the fuck it is. So I have to come up with like $18,000 in the space of like uh, 3 months. Because I mean, lawyers talk a game. That's what they do, and they'll tell you like all kinds of stuff you want to hear. Like I'm gonna help you through this, and we're gonna get through this. But if you don't pay them, they ain't doing fucking shit for you. I promise you that. And they will take it. I mean, to my lawyer's credit, I have nothing but good things to say about the dude. He helped me out. He let me pay him as I could, and I was still working at the same time, so I legitimately was able to use work money to pay him and then just use drug money for the rest of my life. But hey, it's just accounting, right? So I uh, managed to start coming up with that 18,000, and I was real fucking close. Like I was $5,000-6,000 short, and I mean, like a fucking 2-pound shipment in, and I was ready just to rip and roar, rip and roar. And what the fuck happens? But Charles, the tragic boyfriend, disappears with my fucking drugs into the wilds of New Orleans. Proceeds to go to fuck around with all these fucking assholes and uh, have sex with all these people. And it takes me 3 fucking days, 3 days of like tracing down from person to person that we know to find out where he's at. And I finally find him. And let me tell you, people, I've only been violent twice in my life with people who I actually cared about in some capacity. I mean, I guess you could count my older sister, but she really asked for it. So I guess that's three. Uh, but this was one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was fucking high and he was an asshole. But he lost all the money that I had saved for the lawyer, all of it, and all the dope that I had just gotten in, that I had gotten in on credit, bitch, on fucking credit. So here I am with fuck all or nothing. A federal charge pinned on me, not shit on fucking him, but a little ass state charge. And this motherfucker's gonna go and lose all my dope and all my money. So you know what? I mean, what would you do? I broke the fucking window to the place he was staying, opened the fucking door, and beat the dog shit out of it. Like blood flying everywhere, kind of beat him up. I mean, look, I don't ascribe to violence. I really don't. But I mean, I was 6'2" when I was 12. You know, I don't know what happens when I hit those moments. I lose my sense of conscience and I become something else. People in prison could attest to it if they wanted to. It's not pretty. And I hurt that dude. And it just goes to show you like how much he didn't love himself. He stayed with me after that, and I stayed with him. Still thought I fucking loved the motherfucker. I mean, how stupid is that? Live and you learn, right? You live and you fucking learn. So, needless to say, I don't have any fucking money. I don't have any drugs. I'm upset. I'm fucking bloody. And I put Charles in the car with me and we left. We just didn't talk about it again after that, ever. And I found a way. I begged and pleaded and like called in every other chip I still had left and the few that I had earned since I had gotten arrested. And I had a few uh, to get enough to like at least nominally pay off what I had just lost. dope wise and get the uh, supplier to send me some more. And he did. And I hustled the fuck and I made the rest of my money and paid my lawyer. But here's where it gets fucking twisted, right? At that point, I got assigned a judge. And my lawyer's like, Frank, man, you got Polazola. He's a hanging judge. He's fucking gonna throw the book at you, Frank. And like my lawyer literally looked at me, bitch, looked at me and goes over his desk and goes, how much time can you do? What's the answer to that question? Huh? Tell me in the comments what your answer is to the question. How much fucking time can you do? I bet you it's the same as mine. My answer was none. Zero. Zip. Uh, and my lawyer was all like, Frank, be realistic, bro. You're going to do time. You didn't just do what they said you did. You wrote out a fucking confession telling them what you did. And then they have it. Like, you're you're cooked, bruh. Own it. And, I guess I did at that point, sort of. Because that's the point when I walked away from that meeting. Love that. Where I looked at the reality facing me. And next time I'll explain a little bit more about how federal sentencing guidelines work. Because it's fucking stupid and you don't fucking get it. You really don't understand just how stupid it is, but it's that fucking stupid. So uh, at the time, I was facing a possible about 20 years. And I was like, 20 years? The fuck I look like? I look like I'm gonna do 20 years to you? And then, of course, there's all kinds of inherent judgments in that. Well, so what does someone who's gonna do 20 years look like? They got face tattoos, missing some teeth, judgments, shit we shouldn't think about each other. But I thought it. And I wasn't prepared to even face doing any time. I was 27. I know that maybe that's older than a lot of y'all, but I didn't understand consequences the way that I do now. I had never really been forced to face them. I was always so quick on my feet and so tall and just lucky and full of white male privilege that I was able to just skirt every fucking bad thing I ever did before then. And I didn't have to pay the price for it. This time, though, bitch, I had to pay the price. But before I paid that price, between me, you, and your trees back there, I tried to run away to Canada. And that's next time. Bye, TikTok.